Crested geckos require high humidity, and keeping that humidity, especially during dry summers in the UK and in the lower parts of the United States, can be a challenge. So in this episode we're going through several ways that you can keep humidity higher in your crested gecko. Stick around because one of these methods is going to be really helpful. I'm David, this is Bronte, welcome to DJL Exotics. Crested geckos come from New Caledonia, where the average humidity in the air is between 70 and 80 degrees. In the UK and the US, our homes are roughly at 40 to 50 degrees. Therefore, there's a big differential. And what often happens is that the high humidity from the enclosure of the crested gecko will escape into the drier environment of our homes, drying out the crested gecko, but also making our homes slightly more damp. The solution isn't actually more misting. There are various different ways that you can do it that will stop the moisture from escaping too much into the home, but keep their humidity just about right. So let's go into the first one of these, and that's substrate. Now there are numerous types of substrate that you can use inside the enclosure that will allow it to maintain moisture, release it slowly, and also not smell. And then the first of these is cocoa fibre, the next is naturalistic soil, and the third is bioactive substrate. These are all excellent options, and a good layer of these will retain any moisture that you add in. What substrate are you currently using in your crested gecko enclosure? Let us know in the comments below. But even with the right substrate, there are issues. It is also about what you're putting into the enclosure and how you're doing that. So let's have a look at how often you should be misting. These guys do come from areas where it will actually rain slightly in the morning and slightly in the evening. So it's best to actually give these guys a spray a couple of times a day. What I really suggest to create that natural rhythm is to do a lighter spray in the morning when there is less rain, but a more heavy spray at night, just before they would wake up. So as that is a kind of hint to the bugs to come out when they would, and therefore the crested gecko would sense that is the best time to go hunting and looking for food sources. The problem with misting is that doing it manually can sometimes feel like a big chore, and that's why some people look for other options that can maintain the humidity a little bit better, but also automate the process. One way to maintain the humidity higher in the enclosure is by using live plants. Now this is something which I can't do because although I can look after animals, I'm not very good with plants. There are many different plants that you can use inside the crested gecko enclosure, and they have benefits other than holding the moisture. For instance, plants can be in good natural cover for your crested gecko. They can be good enrichment, offering lots of different scents and surfaces for them to explore, hide in, and also just smell. And it's something which they really do. It gives their mind something to focus on and good enrichment to keep them mentally stimulated. It's also a really good focal point for your room. Plants make it something that you guys can look at, and it will always look great whether your crested gecko is hiding or not. It really does add a feature. The biggest problem with plants is that it does require special lighting to make sure that they grow, and there is a little bit of extra work to keep the plants alive, but for some people it becomes just as much as part of a hobby and an enjoyment as it does keeping the crested gecko. And once you combine plants with the right substrate, you really do get a naturalistic environment that readily releases humidity into the air, as well as keeps it nice and fresh. And that can be something that can be really appreciated not just by yourself, but also by the crested gecko. For those that struggle with routine, automatic misters can be an absolute time saver and can really help the crested gecko. These can be set so when the humidity gets to a certain level, they release some spray to increase that humidity, or they can be set on a timer so that at certain times during the day it releases humidity directly into the air. Now this can be actually a very good option because you can replicate weather patterns that happen in New Caledonia, including that afternoon rain, which these guys will appreciate and will understand means that it's night time and it's time to come out for hunting. Setting up, say, for 5 o'clock and having all your UV lights turn off at the same time is a really good way that you can mimic their natural environment, creating something that they're going to thrive in. An automated mister is also something that can be very useful for those in busy homes or very large enclosures where spraying would actually take a long time. Even automation can't fix it all on its own, and therefore you've got to consider the whole system. It's not just about adding in the extra mister. It's not about just adding live plants. Using these together creates a system inside the environment which can really benefit your crested gecko. And when you start adding those in, what you will notice is that your crested gecko activity levels will increase, shedding will improve, you'll see higher levels of hunting, and you'll also see brighter, more vibrant colours, something that every gecko owner wants to see. So thank you very much for watching today's video. I hope that it's been of help. If it has, please let us know in the comments what you plan to add in, and don't forget to like and share the video. I hope you subscribe to the channel, and goodbye for now.